which make your speeches on Pakistan viral?
But thank you. Yeah.
Hello and welcome. At Times Now Summit 2026, I am being joined by AIMIM President and Hyderabad MP Asaduddin Owaisi. Sir, thank you so much for speaking with us. My first question is regarding cricket, sir. You have been a cricketer in your younger days. IPL is about to start. Are you rooting for Sunrisers Hyderabad?
That was when I was in my Nizam College days, and then I studied in England, so I used to play cricket. But yes, IPL is going to start, but I don't know whether I'll be watching or not. But when it's in India playing a one day or a test match, so I try to follow the highlights.
And sir, are you aware of the fact that there is a new fan base that has emerged of yours, especially after your comments during Operation Sindoor against Pakistan? Do you follow those reels and which make your speeches on Pakistan viral?
I'm thankful to them for recognizing my love for this country so late in the day. But thank you.
Sir, your equation with Nishikant Dubey, sir. He has often spoken about his friendship with you. You both are in diametrically opposite ideologies and parties. But I want to know your version of the story. What is the really equation behind the scenes?
No, he represents an ideology which I cannot accept it also. But end of the day, he's a member of parliament elected by the people of Jharkhand. He's a four-time MP, and we happened to be on the same group after Operation Sindoor when we went to 4 different countries. And yes, but at that time we were representing the country and we had to put forward India's case against the terrorism being perpetrated by Pakistan, the killing of innocent people in Pahalgam. So at that time, yes, we used to interact a lot because we are part of the same group, traveling the same aircraft. So I got to know him much better. But the thing is that he is hardcore believer in the RSS ideology, which I don't accept. But one thing which a lot of people don't know is that during UP elections, when my car was fired upon by some miscreants at the toll gate, he was the first person to meet me in the parliament and express his sadness, and he was very upset that this thing has happened. It was a genuine concern he had shown. So yes, we represent 2 different political ideologies which we cannot come together, but of course we are both human beings, so we can talk at least.
Okay. Sir, also you have been very critical of Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. Now elections are scheduled in Assam. What is AIMIM's plan for the northeastern state?
Well, we are yet to decide on Assam. Maybe in a day or two you'll come to know about it.
And about your views on Himanta Biswa Sarma?
Well, he is out and out promoting discrimination. He believes in Muslims being treated as second-class citizens. He believes in uprooting lakhs of Muslims from the places where they have been living for ages and ages. He has openly endorsed a video. Later on, he backtracked, wherein in that video, a person was shown firing a bullet from a rifle which was hitting Muslims. He has openly said that boycott Mia Muslims, don't pay them. He stooped down to the level of saying that if you use an auto of a Muslim, pay them 2 rupees less. Does that befit the chief minister of a country to show this open hatred for one particular class of citizens just because they happen to follow the religion of Islam?
Right, sir. And recently, a few weeks ago, a report from United States emerged, which was very critical of India's treatment of minorities. We also had Minority Affairs Minister just a few hours ago, and we spoke to him. He said that he categorically rejects the report from the US.
Why don't we accept what the judge of the Supreme Court, Mr. I don't remember his honorable judge name, Mr. Bhuyan, who said that his daughter's friend, who happened to be Muslim, was discriminated in getting a flat. Why don't we see what the Allahabad High Court judge had to say, that if Muslims are praying in a private property, would you stop other people doing their religious faith in their private property. And how do you justify some Muslim youths opening their fast on a ship on Ganga, and then you arrest them and you apply non-bailable sections, and unfortunately even the courts refuse to give them the bail. And later on you add a charge of taking that vehicle, that ship, the boat forcibly. So Uttam Nagar, Muslims cannot celebrate Eid peacefully, they have to go to Delhi High Court. And these are all examples which are there in front of us. So let us get more concerned with what is happening in the country and stop this injustice, stop this discrimination, and stop this Islamophobia which is happening right under our nose.
But what is your message to the country? Because how fair is it for a foreign country to speak?
How fair is it for us to accept all these nonsense? Forget about what they are saying, or why are we not concerned what is happening in our country? See, you have to get your house in order. Forget about what someone is saying from outside. If your house is not in order, of course you are giving an opportunity to these people to say what they have said now.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you so much.